So I know in Milwaukee that it slowed down a little bit, but there was a streak in the real estate market where it was just like you had to place a no cash offer. Things were just flying off the shelf. What was it like, and what part of New York are you doing a lot of wheeling and dealing in?
In Long Island.
Okay.
Yep, Long Island. About 45 minutes from Penn Station. Took the train in today. Nice ride in.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was wild back like 2 years ago. Anything went on the market. It was like a feeding frenzy. Offers coming in, $100,000 over asking price, no inspection. Imagine getting a house with no inspection. Like,
it's a bad
you're
idea.
just like rolling the dice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that was what people had to do to get an offer accepted. It was, it was extremely competitive seller's market. And buyers were just doing anything they could. The interest rates were low, and it was a great time in the real estate game.
And I'd imagine people gravitate towards you because I think people that are more so in the corporate world, like anytime they can get their hands on somebody that was a college athlete or a professional athlete, like they feel like, oh, this guy's going to fight for me to get the best deal. Like, I want Al on my team. Is that kind of how it's been?
Yeah, definitely. I've gotten some deals from people that have just seen me fight and kind of exactly gravitated towards me that way. But for the most part, I'm doing deals with people that I went to high school with, people from the wrestling community, people from the gym community. So I've got a big network of people just through athletics and growing up on Long Island. And those are the people that like really know me. They knew me pretty much before I got into the UFC and then saw what I did in the UFC. So they already knew who I was. The UFC just kind of showed everybody else outside of that sphere. But yeah, it's been fun, man. I was not a salesperson. I never had a sales background growing up. I was just an athlete that got into real estate through a lot of the coaches that I had. I was coached on The Ultimate Fighter by Uriah Faber, and he's a big entrepreneur, big business minded guy. All his team it's trickled down through his team in Team Alpha Male in Sacramento, and real estate is his bread and butter now. So he exposed me to that early, and then a few other people through the way just kind of I always kept going back to real estate, and then got a couple injuries, got my license, started attacking from both ends, the investment side and the sales side, learned the business, and now we're up and running. It's been the first year that I've just been focused on real estate. I haven't been focused really on myself fighting. So it's been a big adjustment.
So one thing that I noticed is, so I wrestled all the way through college. I wrestled D3, University of Wisconsin Whitewater, and my junior, senior year, I easily could have been a national champ. I beat the national champ. I majored the 5th and 6th place guy. It just didn't end. I didn't wrestle in the national tournament how I should have, but I had a strong goal. It was team national champs, individual national champ, and then I got a sales job working for a corporate company called Paychecks, where I was helping with payroll and things like that. And one thing that was a little bit depressing is you go from a place where you have a lot of brotherhood. You're sweating together, you're grinding together, you're traveling around the country together, competing for a very high goal. And then it was like, oh, I have to make six units of commission this month. It didn't get me riled up the same way. Did you struggle with going from, I want to be a world champion at 155 to a world that's, I'm not going to say less exciting because I'm in real estate as well and I love the game, but I guess what was that adjustment period like for you?
Yeah, it was, it was definitely tough. It was definitely tough, but at the same time, it was like a whole new thing. It was a whole new world and something that I didn't really have time to think too much into it, I guess, maybe. Because I was failing at a very high rate. I didn't know what I didn't know, and maybe could have done a better job finding the right leaders in the sales aspect. I was kind of like I learned from mistakes, really. But yeah, it was definitely a little lonely compared to being on a team where
Yeah.
you're in there grinding together every day, and the real estate industry, the people on your team might be the people that are trying to take from you. So it's a huge difference. But I always went back to Ray Longo and Matt Serra's gyms. I've been in the gym constantly, and that's really, that's where I find that brotherhood. I'm still in there with those guys, and can still consider them family. So that's why I think it keeps me going on that end. But I do want to build something like that in real estate. I think that athletes have so much to offer as far as real estate sales. It's competition. It's it is what you get is what you put in, and there's nobody that works harder than a wrestler.